stand for the prayer and the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Remain standing while Councilman Sarah leads us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, we pray that you bring our nation together and that you give us the courage and the strength to stand together against violence, hate, and discrimination wherever it exists in our nation and in our world. Amen.
Just to advise, the meeting notices covering this meeting have been sent and posted as required under the Open Public Meetings Act. We opened the meeting at 5:30 and went into executive session. At this time, I'll ask our solicitor to comment on the topics that were discussed in executive session.
In executive session, the mayor and council discussed and received a report from the manager of potential litigation. This particular matter deals with potential fraudulent acts touching upon certain bank accounts of the city. This is an ongoing matter. As indicated, it is potential litigation only, not actual at this time. The manager is engaging in appropriate discussions with bank representatives to determine additional information. Council also discussed under contract negotiations a walker restriction issue. Additional information in regard to this matter will be made available at the next meeting on September 6th. Council notes that certain notices were published that the discussion would take place this evening. That discussion will now take place on September 6th. Public notices will be published further commenting and advising of the September 6th date. Another issue dealing with contract negotiations relates to the intentions of the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection in regard to permitted activities on the North End beaches. The manager advised of the status of those negotiations and that any restrictions or changes in activities will take place in 2018. Additional information as to the nature of such permitted activities will be made available prior to that time. In regard to litigation, the council received a brief update from our office in regard to Malone versus Brigantine. It is noted that a spin-off of this matter will be before the planning board at the August meeting. The matter will return to court in the second week of September. Additional information will be made public following these proceedings. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Cerny. Okay, at this time, we are going to move into our council meeting agenda, but before we do, I want to reiterate that if anyone is here for the discussion on the release of the possible deed restriction at 2601 Ocean Avenue, that will not be discussed tonight. It has been postponed until our meeting of September 6th. Okay, next we're going to move to the approval of the 7/15/17 council meeting minutes and the 8/2/17 council executive session minutes. We have a motion and a second, please.
Make that motion. Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to ask for roll call.
Bew?
Yes.
Reardon?
I say yes to the meeting minutes on 7/15 and abstain from 8/2.
Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Simpson?
Yes.
Mayor Gunther?
I say yes to 7/15/17 and abstain from 8/2/17.
Motion carried.
Okay, next we move to approval of the payroll, requisition list, and miscellaneous operating expenses. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
Bew?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Simpson?
Abstain to 17/1600 and 17/13. Yes to everything else.
Mayor Gunther?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, next we move to Resolution 2017-154, authorizing an application for the Flood Mitigation Assistance Program operated by, administered by FEMA. Do we have a motion and a second?
Mayor, we skipped over the public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did. In my haste, I went right to, at this time, I will open the meeting for public comments. Anyone who would like to address council on anything that is on our agenda, please step forward, use the microphone, and state your name and address for the record. Seeing no public comment at this time, we'll move back to Resolution 2017-154, authorization for an application for the Flood Mitigation Assistance Program administered by FEMA. We have a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Ed, do you want to describe these programs? Because actually, the next resolution is similar as well.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. The first, this resolution is for the Flood Mitigation Assistance Program, and our application, our recommendation would be for elevating homes that have been damaged by floods. It is continuing our effort to provide funding or find funding for that effort. We have been successful now in 2 other programs, and this is an annual application, so we're just looking to continue that pursuit. The second resolution is for pre-disaster mitigation program, and our recommendation would be for emergency generator at Public Works.
Great. Okay, is there any discussion on Resolution 154? It should be noted that this is part of a program, too, that has been ongoing, and that through the efforts of the city manager's office and the outreach that's been done by members of council as well, that this provides assistance for individuals who missed the previous FEMA funding programs for a variety of reasons, but is administered and is hopefully going to enable some of those individuals who were not involved in the previous FEMA funding cycles to elevate their homes.
And Mayor, as we said with those other 2 programs, anybody that has an interest, please reach out to my office, and I'll put you in contact with Jim Rotella. What we have done is generated a list of applicants, and as funding becomes available in these programs, we have ranked the list based on the lowest elevation of the floor elevation, so the greatest risk, and we would just keep picking off that list. So we have about 26 or 30 that are on the list. About 10 to 12 are earmarked for funding, and we'll just keep pursuing funding and keep hopefully picking off that list. But if anybody is interested, please reach out to our office, and we'll put you in contact with our grant consultant.
Great. Thank you, Ed. Okay, could we have roll call on Resolution 2017-154?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-155, authorizing grant application to execute a grant agreement with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security for a pre-disaster mitigation program. Do we have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, Ed has described this would be for emergency generators. Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-156 is a CER refund for theater camp. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-157, real estate tax refund. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2017-158 is a release of a construction bond, performance bond. And this is case 9/2009, and this is for the Cellar 32 project in the amount of $2,432.39. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Simpson.
Abstain.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2017-159, the work change order for flood control improvements to the municipal boat ramp. This is a work change order. It's a net increase of $16,404.10. Could we have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Ed, you want to describe the increase?
I will, thank you, Mayor. On this change order, the increase involves 7 items. It was, the first was a change in the specification for the paving for a portion of the Bayshore Avenue reconstruction that enabled us to reduce the heavier specification paving and change it to a lighter specification, still more than sufficient for what we have, which gave us more square yardage to pave. So that almost ends up being a net the same. That's items 1 and 2. And the rest are concrete changes that had to do with the generator pad, the paving around that pad, the railing around the generator, things of that sort. The net being $16,000.
And the generator is in place?
The generator is in place. The electric is being wired now. The pumps will be delivered this week, I'm told. We are extremely close to having the pump station working. Lansing Electric has set the service on the pole at the site, so we need that connection. We need the meter set. The pumps, as I said, should be in this week, and then the wiring. So the floodgate itself has been delivered, and we do have that. So we are, very close to having that.
We seem to be having a very active tropical season already.
Yes.
With,
Ed, on the items having to do with the generator pad, in the original design, was there a generator pad and railing and fencing, or did those things get added later?
Those things were, there was a generator pad, the railing was added. The pad was expanded because we ended up having to increase the size of the generator from what was bid. The larger generator took up more space, so we had to modify the pad. So some of the things are changes from what was designed, others are added to what was designed.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-160 authorizes the auction of surplus property. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? John, I know by the time you're done using vehicles, not to diminish our value at the sale, but they have
You're killing our bids. Stop.
Oh, gee.
they have been used heavily.
Great salesman.
Yes.
Great salesman. Doing a heck of a
Well,
job.
I don't want to.
They were well maintained.
They were, yes, they were well maintained,
And
but
they're exceptionally well maintained, right, John?
Well, Lou.
exactly. Okay, could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2017-161, the approval of a bylaw amendment for the Southern Coastal Regional Employee Benefits Fund. Do you have a motion? Second, please.
Make that motion.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, seeing none, could we have roll call?
View.
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And we move to our consent agenda. We have two St. Thomas raffle licenses, as well as the Brigantine Aquatic Center picnic request.
We also have an addition, Andy Grossman from Riptide wanted to do a striper bluefish
Oh, yeah.
derby fall tournament.
Can we do that one second?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, let's stay with the consent agenda that we read off, and we need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, could we have roll call, please?
View.
Yes.
Reardon.
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, Ed, you have a striper derby request?
We do, Mayor.
Thanks.
And actually,
I have it.
About 10 minutes, I can take it back.
So, I can do it. It's September 5th, 2017 till December 24th. The tournament helps several local charities, with the biggest being Hooked on Fishing, Not on Drugs Kids Fishing Tournament. We donated over $30,000 to money that raised in the past, and will continue to donate to local charities like the previous 11 years of running this tournament. I'm asking for permission to drive on the front beaches as long as they have a valid 4x4 permit, in addition to the Riptide Striper Derby permit. The anglers will have to abide by all city regulations in the act of fishing while driving on the front beaches. Mr. Grossman has run the tournament for the past 11 years and has not had any problems, and will continue to run it in the same way. If you have any questions, you can call the cell, and thanks for cooperation.
As we do with most of these type requests, or all these requests, we send the request out to our police chief, our fire chief, public works, and our lifeguard chief, and ask them for their comments. What came back this time was the same as our last fishing derby request, which was I think in June, and it is that we restrict the area on the open beach to outside of the area where we provide lifeguards in September. So on weekends in September, we open Roosevelt, or we station lifeguards at Roosevelt, we station lifeguards at 15th, 16th, and at 26th Street. So the consensus from our public safety team was that we would have those same restrictions, that they would have to stay north of Roosevelt stretch and south of 26th Street stretch. I think also in June, we said that, council said that you'd have to be off the beach by 9 a.m. and not on the beach on weekends. You have to be off the beach Saturday morning by 9 a.m. and stay off until Sunday night. So that would be the recommendation from our public safety team.
That would be more during the month of September.
That'd be
When we move
certainly
into
the month.
October, yeah.
Yeah.
Just when the lifeguards are on?
Just so through September, correct.
Is that the consensus, Chief?
Yes, sir. I talked to him this morning about it, and he agrees. As long as they have the dogs down there, we'll just send them north and south.
Is it necessary for them to have to be enrolled in that contest? Or could we open it up to any fisherman abiding by our rules?
In the past, excuse me, in the past, it's only been to the people in the contest, and they have to display some type of a tag or identification saying that they were participating.
I know we had some questions about that. It seems like some of the other fishing businesses were not as supportive of it as Captain Andy's business. I'm just throwing it out there.
How much is it to get into the fishing tournament?
I think it was $25.
$25, yes.
$25
For the full time or per day?
for the full time. They have to have valid four-wheel drive permits, but they would pay $25 to get the derby or the fishing tournament permit, which then would be the exception to allow them on the beachfront,
And they do have to be actively fishing.
actively fishing.
And there's no cap on the numbers, right? It's open to whoever want to join that for the
That is
$25? Fair enough.
Did you, I think you did mention it, the proceeds beyond whatever their cost of running it may be, all go to the local charities, right?
Yes, that's what's in the request.
Okay, thanks.
Do you know how much excuse me, do you know how much they raised in the previous years?
I
The
do
local
not,
charities?
what they have in their request
30,000.
is that they've donated.
That's an aggregate, I don't think that's, yeah.
Right.
Right.
How many years?
I think that's like 11 years, so,
Right.
$3 grand a year.
yeah.
We haven't had issues in the past. Simply, we did receive a letter after the June tournament from people that expressed concerns, that seemed to think that it was unfair, for people involved in this tournament to be given that privilege and others would not be.
Well, they can be in the tournament. It's
They could be in the
$25.
tournament,
Exactly.
and it is a fundraiser for local charities.
Right.
Thank you.
No, Andy obviously has done a great job the last 11 years, and I'm all for it. I'll tell you right now.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, so we need a motion to approve with the restrictions that were indicated by the city manager through the public safety departments.
I'll make a motion with those restrictions.
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Since the money is going to charity, I'm going to vote yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, at this time, are there any council manager committee discussion reports?
I do,
Mr.
Mayor.
Stinson?
I have a couple of quick ones. One, I reached out to FEMA to discuss the status of our firm, our flood insurance rate maps. If you recall, council did authorize me to notify FEMA that we were agreeable to adopt the preliminary firm and use that as our regulatory flood insurance rate map. So we have notified FEMA. I asked them for an update. They're telling me end of this year or beginning of 2018. So that has been an ongoing theme with this whole process, but I thought that's just today, that's the best update that I have, is we're still looking at the earliest would be the end of this calendar year. Given our experience, I would say it's more likely that it'll be into 2018. The second update is we received a notice from Atlantic County. They will be having a pre-construction meeting the end of this month for the paving of Brigantine Boulevard from roughly the Harbor Beach Boulevard light to the circle, but not including the circle. So the chief and I and John will be attending that pre-construction meeting, and then we will report back to council what the schedule for construction is anticipated to be.
July 4th next year.
Well, they are actually pushing, so they want to start. I've been trying to push them off till later in September. They want to come in right after Labor Day, so that's what we'll find out. And the final update is I received notice from the Army Corps regarding the beach fill project that is scheduled for this fall. Looks like they will be awarding a contract on the 24th of August. They look to award the base bid of 405,000 cubic yards and 2 of the additional sand options that would bring the total cubic yardage to 730,000 cubic yards. That is good news, obviously, because of the condition of the north end. It also says that they will do as they have to do is pre-construction or pre-fill surveys, and if those surveys show an even further erosion, they may go to some of the additional sand options. So it's good news right now, still no cost to the city of Brigantine, and we're at 730,000 cubic yards to start with, and that may go up.
Any idea when they could mobilize and do it?
So that's what we'll find. First step is the award of contract, which looks like 24th of August. In the emails, they are telling us that the contractor is pressing to have a notice to proceed as soon as possible. The notice to proceed can't happen until we have a pre-construction meeting. So the first step is the award of contract. Then they'll schedule the pre-construction meeting, and then I'll know more.
Is the contractor the same one as, is in?
Actually, I do not know that.
But the project won't be similar to the one in Margate, where we're not building dunes, correct?
We are different from Margate in a number of ways. So we do not, our street ends, for the most part, do not outfall to the beach. But correct, the area in front of the seawall does not get a dune per the Army Corps' design. The area south of the seawall does get dunes, but it's really just the extension from the existing dunes that we have currently. So we will not have that situation.
Good.
Well, I want to compliment you, Ed, for having the foresight to push them off till after the summer so there wouldn't be any work done on the beach. And also, I'd like to compliment John, too, because we have had issues up there with the beach erosion and the stairs and all, and John's been very cooperative when we've gotten calls from the residents and the second homeowners, and all the beach goers up there have been tremendous in dealing with it, and it's been good, real good.
That is true. They have been patient, and we've been working out trying to figure out where to put trash cans, where to provide access, and it's been a moving target because of the condition of the beach down there and where the tide goes. So thank you to John, because he's been agreeable and working to figure out all these things to make it as best as we can for this summer.
Right. I'll tell you what, if you don't have anything else to say about it, we have a big event coming up on Monday, and I'd like to invite everybody up to the seawall on the beaches on Uptown, Upper East Side. Also, if you want to come down to between 14th and 15th Street, be underneath the palm trees, on Monday there's going to be a big eclipse. So if you bring your cardboard and poke a hole in it, you can watch the shadow, and it's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of people up there watching that. So,
That's great.
You know, that's my report on the eclipse. The Brigantine Beach Cultural Arts Commission also is getting ready for their Scarecrow contest coming up in September and October. And that's all I have to say for tonight. Thanks.
Looks like he's an early favorite.
I have an issue, a question I'd like to pose to the police chief. Can you give us an update on door-to-door solicitations?
All right, so we've gotten a couple of calls, particularly down in our area, about people out soliciting for solar energy installation. We have 2 ordinances on the book, 8 of 66 and 23 of 82, that deal directly with engaging in business activities. Both of them very clearly articulate what a solicitor is, which is what these gentlemen and ladies were doing. And Section 201 pretty much spells it out, point blank. It's unlawful without a mercantile license, nor does it have anywhere listed where you can get a mercantile license for door-to-door soliciting. So as of right now, it is a prohibited activity.
So if somebody comes to my door, am I correct in saying, I know you're not allowed to do this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, and if it looks like they're walking around the neighborhood, or if
Right.
you get calls from one of your constituents or neighbors, by all means, call us. We'll go
Okay.
down and
On the
stop them and find out who they
non-emergency
belong
number.
to.
Okay.
Sometimes some of these kids are usually young people. They aren't given anything other than, here, this is your area, go knock on some doors. And in some past research, I found that we've gone to the business owner, whoever the solar company may be, we'd go to that owner and say, hey, listen, knock it off, or you're going to start getting local ordinance summonses.
Right, okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to follow up too, see if we can update on the gates at the dog park.
Gates of the dog.
Yeah, the lock was not
Do
working.
you have an update?
Yes, the computer came in, I think I said that last council meeting. We're waiting for the program to come in, and as soon as it comes in, everything will be installed.
So they used their paw print to get in?
Yes.
Thank you.
I got a couple of questions. I guess it's going to go to John. The welcome sign for Brigantine, Judy emailed me, and the veteran sign for the parking for the golf course. I asked for that last. Veteran sign, I expected in later on this week. Okay. I ordered 2 of them. The Welcome to Brigantine sign, I met with 2 sign companies to come up with a design to mimic what we had there. But through the county, we have to have it on a breakaway. Right. The size of the sign and a breakaway is an issue. I met with another gentleman that has another sign company, and he suggested some sort of a spring. So we're looking into that. So it is in the works. I don't want to give you a time frame because it's going to be on the county approval. Okay.
Given the wind out there, it better be a substantial spring.
Well,
It's
we-
a,
Wow.
We're talking about having a sailboat, we can maybe move that out there and welcome the Brigantine.
I'd just like to,
Wait a minute, excuse me, Des. And I had I call them customers, but they're people that they came down for 3 weeks, they've been coming here for 30 years. They can't get over the bulkhead at 14th and 15th Street to go to the beach. It's very difficult for him. He's an elderly man now. So maybe for next year, if we could have it in the budget and some kind of design for people to either have a stairs to go over or ramp to go over for next year's, and any bulkheads that we have out there that people have to climb over. 15th Street, we have steps, and 14th Street, we have a ramp. Right, okay.
We'll take a look at,
Yeah.
John and
I went there today, the 15th Street one, you have to jump off the bulkhead on
Right on
the
that
city
one.
side.
Okay.
And other one is,
on the Laguna side,
Yeah.
there's a jump.
yeah,
Yes.
so, oh, they break hips. You can't have that. That's all I have. And it might be a beach committee thing too for
I'd just like
Assembly
to say,
Sarah.
tip of the cap to all you gentlemen right here, Police Department, Fire Department, and John and the Recreation Department for the great job they did once again with the triathlon. And it was a great success, and Brigantine represented very well. I think if anyone had a chance to look at the Brigantine Times, we had the McKenzie family was represented well. Shane McKenzie came in first in individual. And then E.J. Stolfus was also in there. Just too many names really to mention. I mean, young and old throughout all the different age groups. It was just, once again, just a great success. So thank you.
Okay. I want to thank Deputy Mayor Simpson for representing me at several events. I was out of town, and then I had some family responsibilities to take care of, and he stepped in and did a great job, so thank you.
I haven't seen nothing in my paycheck.
You don't get a rate, it's not like acting, you don't get a rate increase.
My representative, talking to you too.
Okay, I'm going to open it up for public comment. Anyone who would like to address council? Yes, Frank? I'm sorry, he was quicker.
My name is Frank Congemi. I live at 605 West Shore Drive here in Brigantine. It was brought to my attention as being one of the members of the Shark Park Committee originally that we haven't finished the Shark Park yet. I understand there's supposed to be a concrete walkway all the way around and some shrubbery supposed to be put in. I was just wondering if this is on hold or what's going to happen with it.
Do we have additional plans for Shark Park?
So Frank, I'm caught off guard a little bit, so.
Paul talked to me, he told me to ask this
Yeah,
question.
so I'll get with John, we'll reach out to Paul. I'm not aware that it has been
Originally,
unfinished.
I understand there was supposed to be some kind of a walkway, concrete walkway for people that are watching their kids, they could walk around
Okay.
it
We'll-
or jog
we'll,
around it.
We'll reach out to Paul and I'll get back up to speed with it and then.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I know the rubber-based stuff is still up in the air. 'Cause
That's correct.
Getting the money for it is
That's
gonna
correct.
it's pain.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
Yes, sir.
Howard Aber, 406 Albacore Lane. I'm also Vice President of Temple Beth Shalom, Chairman of the Bingo. I just want to say tomorrow night is our last bingo of this year, which is our 25th anniversary year. I'd like to thank the mayor and the council for acknowledging our efforts upon the community. I'd also like to thank the merchants have been really wonderful to us. I don't really have to solicit. They're so proactive in coming to us and giving gifts. And I'm not going to go over the specific merchants, but I do want to give a shout-out thank you to one particular organization. And that's, earlier in the summer, I saw in the paper a little ad on the bottom page saying, Children's Breakfast at the Community Presbyterian Church. I asked Gloria Jacoby, who's friendly with people there, if you can go over there and post a flyer. They most graciously let us put a flyer for the temple up there. But they even went one step further. Reverend Scotland brought a whole box, huge box of toys, gave it to Gloria to give to the temple for gifts for the children. Now, if that's not community, I don't know what is. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great.
And
It's Brigantine.
that is Brigantine, absolutely. And, Reverend Scotland, his involvement in the community is incredible. And he always finds a way to give either of his time or to help in some way in every endeavor. So he is an incredible asset. And thank you and the temple for what you've done for 25 years of bingo. And, I know that kids really enjoy that. I know Councilman Sarah was down there doing the proclamation, I believe.
And Councilman Haney was there as well.
But thank you for all you do.
Yeah.
Any other public comment? Yes, right.
Jim Conti, 108 North Roosevelt Boulevard. Meeting ago, which was 2 weeks ago, I bought up the parking lot across the street at 15th and the Boulevard. You weren't here, Mayor. And I said that parking lot's got to be about a year and a half old. There's no handicap parking in there. I bought it up. Ed said he knew about it. He talked to John. They said they discussed it. But it's 2 weeks ago. So now the lot's about a year and a half old. I bought it up 2 weeks ago. Do you have any idea? I mean, it's only a couple lines that got to be painted. You get the paint at Home Depot. Where we stand on that?
Well, I think they have to make the spaces larger too, so it's.
I mean, I don't know. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to find
yeah.
out exactly where we stand on it.
John, can you give an update, please?
Yes, the parking lot was paved in the beginning of this year.
Okay, well, I'm wrong. I apologize for that on the time.
The handicap parking, there'll be 2 parking spots over there. We're doing 2 parking spots at the old Civic Center in the parking lot there. We're doing one at Delmar, one on Casa, and we're also doing 26 handicap lines for residential parking throughout the city. We've gone through everything. The paint's ordered. I'm hoping to have it done in the next 2 weeks.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay, any other public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public portion. Are there any additional council comments?
I have a couple things. Again, I'd like to wish best of luck to Trevor Cohen and his Atlantic Shore team. They are playing right now in the semifinals of the Babe Ruth World
13-year-old,
Series in Arkansas. They've gone 4-0 in their games already, and they're just amazing young men. Trevor's the son of firefighter Trevor Cohen Sr. and Laura Cohen as well. The Historical Society Flea Market is this Saturday and Sunday, 26th Street ball field from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. Come out, support the Historical Society and the vendors that will be there and all the civic organizations that will be represented as well. And also the Farmers Market Green Fest is this Saturday. Big celebration of going green, and the Brigantine Clean Communities will be having their great big festival as well. And I believe there's a beach cleanup in the morning, and that would be at 17th Street, starting at 9 o'clock. So come on out, lots of good stuff going on this weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen.
I'd just like to say one last thing, too. I want to thank Captain Joe McGuire for all his input tonight, filling in for Chief Tiger. Thanks, Joe.
I'd like to pass a resolution that all council people must have shoes on, no flip-flops. Not you. You're the princess.
So you're discriminating? You're
Okay.
discriminating.
I'm going to be the first and second
Entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Made by Frank. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Once again, I want to thank everyone who came this evening and participated in our meeting, and thank those of you who are watching at home. Thank you for tuning in to your council work. Have a good night.